Is the Fender Stratocaster getting better and better as each passing year comes with new models, like the Player 2 or the Ventura, or they had, 10 years or so ago, the Classic Player series, countless series, road worn. Are they any better than what came out originally? Or are they any better than, US made versus Mexican made? It's all kind of relative. The reason I am asking this question or putting it out there is because I pulled out one of my a closet classic. We all have that guitar, maybe a couple that you loved, you used it, you abused it, you took it on many gigs, and then you just put it away because you felt, I need some new gear, or whatever the reason may be. And this is my old Strat. It's a 1992, made in Mexico, Standard Stratocaster. And I got it in a trade about 15 years ago. I traded, I believe, a PRS SE custom 24 or 22. Anyways, doesn't really matter. This sucker came to me with the volume was moved down here and one of the tone was taken out. Now the response here, especially with the volume, when going between 10 and 4 or 5, not much of a difference. So there could be some work done there. But generally, I like to keep the volume on wide all the time. And if I need to turn it down a lot, I will go down to 3 or 4 where the difference kicks in. But anyways, it's not been a big deal. And it also came to me with these Fender gold lace sensor pickups, which are quite bright, very crystal clear, but I still like it. And especially on the neck and the middle, and even in between those two, sounds really good, nice and crystal clean. And you can get some good growl on the bridge. Now I would prefer, and I did at one point, I took this out and I put in a DiMarzio, I think a super distortion or whatever, but a double blade, single coil that fits in, and it was just enough. It was great. It was, wasn't full on humbucker, but it was great. And I might do it again. I might put that back, because this is kind of like I don't want to call it really a Frankenstrat, but it is not original per se as when it came. But it's a great skinny neck, and these frets are very, I want to say kind of like vintage style skinny frets. They're not very thick or high, but I like the low action. But anyways, this guitar, it's like I said, 1992, made in Mexico, Standard Stratocaster. Do you need to go to get that custom shop? Do you need to get just that US, that Fender player, or whatever the Fender US series is? Okay, you might, but check out Reverb or wherever your local buy and sell is, and maybe check out some of these Mexican jobbies, because these play just as well, if you ask me. This neck is, I think, the best neck for my hands. And I wouldn't even really call it a C. It's more maybe like a D radius. I think it probably a 9.5, but like a D shape. It's very comfortable in my hands, and I just love how it feels. Could play fast on it, no trouble there. And again, if I don't like the pickups and the wiring, well, that could be fixed. I could move the volume back up, and I could have the two tones, and I could put in noiseless pickups, or I could put whatever set I want. Whatever set you want, and it's still going to cost you a lot less. Like, I've been recently looking at some of these Mexican jobbies from, like, let's say from the 90s to the early to mid 2000s, and I've seen a few, hovering between, let's say, 700 to maybe 1,000 Canadian. So I'm not sure what that would be, like 500 to 800 US or whatever the equivalent is. But yeah, that's a good price, if you ask me, to get something that's good, that's solid, Mexican made solid guitar. And yeah, you can change hardware, the pickups, and you're still going to spend a lot less than a $4,000 custom shop job, and you're going to get a good guitar. So that is my opinion. And I have some sound clips from a gig I did last night, and I want you to hear this guitar in action. I took it out, and I'm using a Koch Studio Tone 20-watt combo amp, and my pedal board was a 1991 made in Japan Boss BE5M multi-effects. And it's a hybrid. There's like half analog, and I think the digital aspect was the delay and the noise suppressor are digital, but the compressor, overdrive, and chorus are analog. Anyways, I like the tone. Sounds great, but you know, this footage is coming from a phone that was placed in front of me, just on the floor, to just give you a rough idea. But anyways, have a listen, drop a comment, give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't, but I'll leave you with that. Like, don't count out some of these, you know, these pawn shop prizes, let's call them, or your buy and sell find, your Craigslist find, because you know there are tons of these like great little guitars out there that feel good, and you know I don't want to bash like Squires, but you know these are probably a couple of steps above that, but you're not spending custom shop money that you don't need to spend. You know, that's just my opinion. All right, so yeah, check out maybe some of these, 90s, early 2000s, made in Mexico Fender guitars. I think they're great, and I'm actually going to be looking for a couple more in the arsenal. All right, so again, I'll leave you with some live solo guitar clips so you can hear this guy in action, and we'll catch you in the next video.